Both of the quarterbacks seem pretty consistent. Only missed a few passes during team period. How did you kind of assess Trey and Anthony today?
They both were good. I thought they both had good tempo. I thought they're explosive. I think the other thing, what you expect from good skilled players is, bailed them out of some tough situations. Some throws that weren't perfect, some contested balls, and they pulled it down and got upfield. So I think, the two really kind of complemented each other. But I think the quarterbacks had pretty good tempo and were decisive, and both looked good.
Mike, is the idea now to highlight Minshew and Gordon tomorrow?
I'll rotate them around. I haven't entirely decided what tomorrow, but we're going to move them around and kind of get a view of things, and get an idea. Which that's the toughest thing about it, because you like to pack all the reps into two guys, but we got some tough decisions to make, and just gotta go out there, get them out there, and look at them and see where we're at.
So it could take several days to cut it to two.
Well, yeah, I think it will. Yeah.
With Rob Lou's kind of appeal process, were you confident that he would get the year back, or were you kind of unsure on the rules?
Once they changed the rule, I thought he would. Once they changed the rule, and he was well within it. The specifics I'd forgotten at this point, but as they changed it and I read it and all that stuff, it was pretty clear. I mean, it's but then so we're really happy to have him back.
Does it feel like he's been here almost as long as you at this point?
Yeah, he's been here a long time. We got to get him out there and get him some balls, polish him up, and see where he's at. That's a pretty competitive position right now too, inside receiver. So, that'll be a battle. But he's got experience and he can do a lot of stuff, and he's been a starter here before, and he can play special teams. We already know that. So, I think he'll definitely contribute.
It seemed like a couple of those inside receivers last year started taking on Robert Lewis characteristics.
Yeah, I think they definitely did. Then Travell, of course, came on during spring, and then Renard's done a good job, and then some of those guys like Arcanato, and I'm leaving somebody out. I just can't remember who it is. And then of course we've got Robert Lewis there too, and so it's a good group,
Renard seemed to be a pretty good blocker at times last year, and you talked about Rob as a pretty good blocker.
I think that started with Robert Lewis, because Robert Lewis is the guy that kind of set the standard that, because he's the smallest receiver out there and the best blocker for a long time, and then made it very obvious to all these other guys, Jameer, Renard, Travell, that it's a matter of position and getting into somebody's body and not allowing them to have separation or space. It's key to blocking. It's not deliver some big blow or something like that. You just have to keep them tied up for a few seconds, and if you're able to do that consistently, you're the best blocker on the team. Of course, then he had that big block against Utah, which was a bomb. But yeah.
What does it say about Rob? He assumed that when he got injured that he wasn't going to play another snap, but he stuck around and coached the young guys and then was with you guys the whole year. What does it kind of say about his character?
Well, I think all that. I think there's that, because he's always been very much a team guy and just a good guy. But I think he was really excited at the opportunity to come back. So.
What have you seen from Drew Jackson? He's had a few pretty good days and was consistent today.
Explosive, good hands, still kind of learning things, but doesn't really hesitate out there. Even if something's sloppy, he'll be explosive. He'll be strong. He'll be powerful, and then all those young guys. The one thing is once the ball's in the air, they'll go after it. Even if the route wasn't perfect or something like that, they're aggressive going after the ball.
Did you guys want to get a lot of special teams work today? So there were at least 3 different periods where you kind of worked on kickoff and kickoff.
Yeah, we always do. They seemed a little longer just because the transition was slow as people were sorting out where to go, since this is our first practice here. But we have the 5-minute period before, and then we'll have the 2 10-minute periods in the body of practice. Well, then they'll punt at the end a little bit or something.
Mike, the original idea, I think, was to come here for 10 or 12 days in Lewiston, and then kind of slowly phasing that back a little bit.
Well, the original idea was our stuff was all tore up because we were under construction.
That's right.
And so that was, and then we liked the idea though of being here separate and getting our thing done. Then the other thing is there's the mandatory off day, which is a pretty good moving day in the context. It seems like we usually stayed 9 days, and I think on the 8th day that's the mandatory off day. So rather than spend the night and eat lunch and hang out and play ping pong and shuffleboard, we'd go ahead and go home and do it in Pullman the next day.
Feel a little more like Pullman with the new artwork in the middle of the field.
Somebody did that. I don't know who. Huff could tell you too. Huff could tell you who did that. Yeah, somebody did that. This is the best these fields have been. Just more complete grass and stuff like that.
You guys good?
Yeah. Thank you.